following story contains adult themes and depictions of violence and trauma. This podcast is not for children. Please be advised.
Your Highness, I'm here.
Good. Take a look at it.
Of course, Your Highness.
Any signs of poison?
None at all. It was most likely a normal arrow.
Good. Will that be all?
Actually, Zane?
Don't address me in that manner.
Right, Your Highness. I have something I want to discuss with you.
Go on.
That girl you were with, Your Highness. Who is she to you?
Why does it matter to you?
Your Highness, I'm only concerned for your protection.
She isn't a threat. I've made that very apparent.
My fear is she could have put you in danger. You saw what happened out there. You were put in a position where we almost lost you.
What are you trying to say?
I don't think it's wise for you to be around her.
Who are you to tell me that?
Your Highness?
I don't need counsel from you.
But Your Highness...
I know what you're doing, Catalina. And I'm not interested.
Why? What is so important about that peasant woman?
Are you questioning my authority?
I'm questioning your practicality, Your Highness.
Oh, you are? Who was it who saved you on that night?
You, Your Highness.
Who has given you the opportunity to have one of the highest educations within the capital?
You, Your Highness.
Who has financially supported you and your family for the past decade?
You, Your Highness.
You could say that I've built up a name for you, correct? Catalina the Magician amongst the remnant mercenaries. I made you who you are today. I can easily take that away, just like I did to your village.
Your Highness, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
You already have.
Is there anything I can do to undo this?
Go back to your library and get out of my personal affairs.
Of course. Please excuse me.
Catalina.
Yes, Your Highness?
Get those kinds of emotions out of your head. I won't reciprocate them.
You're right. I shall, Your Highness.
Good.
You're Lady Anne, right?
Captain?
Yes, you must be the right person then. Please, come with me.
Is Zane all right?
He has a slight injury. He'll be quite all right, though.
Oh, Inyo. What a relief.
He wants to see you. He's been calling for you ever since he got injured.
He has?
Yes, he has. Are the two of you close?
We are.
I see how it is.
You what?
You're in love with him.
Wait, what?
Am I wrong? So I'm right then.
I don't know if I am.
Oh?
I'm unsure, but I'm still trying to sort out my feelings.
Fair enough.
Please don't tell him.
I won't. It's quite curious, if I may say.
What is?
The two of you are very different people. It's interesting how you got through to him.
Got through to him?
You're one of the only few people His Royal Highness will open up to.
Why?
I don't have an answer for that. He's a man who prefers to keep to himself.
Huh.
Enter.
Zane?
You're not hurt, are you?
I'm fine. Oh my goddess, what happened to your face?
It doesn't matter. It's just a scratch. Fuck. How did I not notice her?
Your Highness, we're still working on securing the castle. Please, do not leave this room. Someone will be by to notify you when it's safe.
Of course, Captain. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Highness. I'll take my leave.
I was really worried about you.
I promise I'm okay. I was able to get away before anything could happen, thanks to you.
I'm sorry. It was my fault that you were put into danger.
It's not your fault. Zane, it wasn't your fault that you were attacked. Nobody can predict these types of things. Did he get you with his sword?
Huh? Oh, no. It was an arrow. It barely grazed me.
I would have been terrified if I were you.
Oh, these types of attacks have been common. The rebellion has only grown more relentless in the passing years.
Why do they keep coming?
My father has made some questionable decisions during his reign. The people he's affected are unhappy with the monarchy. They seek vengeance.
But if it's your father who they're unhappy with, why do they keep trying to kill you?
It doesn't matter whose head it is on the pike as long as it's a Damonte. They want the entire system to fall apart. Wolfsbane. He seemed too dramatic, like he wanted to make a show out of the whole event. That's what all of this is in the end, isn't it? A show. A show of killing every member of my family in the most brutal, grotesque ways possible. I never wanted to get Liliane involved in all of this. I suppose it's too late to say that. She's already dealing with so much. She doesn't deserve this. Yet there's this part of me that refuses to let go. It seems like the gods really don't want us to go out on that walk, does it?
We'll get the chance eventually.
What happened here?
They must have gotten some more magicians on their side. They knocked the gate off its hinges with ease.
Why haven't they constructed a barricade yet?
They tried. The rebels kept setting it on fire. Do you see that one over there? They're saying he's the magician who keeps lighting them on fire. Nobody wants to provoke him. Apparently, he blew a man's arm off.
The man was caked in sweat and ash. He stood atop the wall and watched vigilantly as he fired charges into the crowds. I could feel my hands tremble. And the archers?
Even Jacob tried. He knocks the arrows out of midair.
The obvious solution was for somebody to climb the wall out of his line of vision. They'd have to get close enough for hand-to-hand combat. They'd have to restrain his hands. They could overwhelm him. If he's distracted with one or two men, perhaps an arrow could slip by. I can't relay the message without a rebel noticing. Goddess, this is bad. Guards these days were really growing more incompetent. Couldn't they strategize a plan themselves? It was simple enough. The fire was going to spread if they didn't drive out the rebels immediately. If only there was some way to distract him for just a moment. I should have known that this sort of thing would happen. And I finally have to face my fear. Then, I see him stagger. It's so convenient that it doesn't seem true. He's grabbing at his hair in pain, wincing, and he can't focus. Now! Somebody has to take the shot now! This is the best chance we have! An arrow flew across the courtyard and into the man's collar. He screamed and fell backwards over the wall where I could no longer see. Attack now! I swung at the rebels. I have an advantage here. They may be faster, but their weapons are close range. Getting close to me is dangerous. I could see royal archers climb the outer wall and start firing at outsiders. Already, their numbers are waning. I saw Riley sword fighting 3 rebels at once
Abby.
with ease. Her
Yes.
movements were almost elegant as she sidestepped and stabbed with her rapier. I climbed the wall and assessed the scene from a bird's eye view. Guards conducted themselves much more efficiently. Someone already doused the burning shrub in water. A barricade was being constructed. On the other side of the wall, I saw rebels retreating. I was almost ready to deem the battle over, until I saw a few standing behind a tree, waiting. There has to be something I'm missing. One of the rebels looks to the side. I follow her line of vision until I see another woman climbing the wall. It's unguarded over there. There must have been some sort of miscommunication within all of the chaos. She's wearing little to no armor. I don't see any visible weapons on her. The only way other rebels could be dependent on this woman was if she was a magician. I'm not about to let her set fire to the castle. The rebels at the tree retreated. The fighting had ceased. The woman I hit laid on her back, covered in blood like splatters of paint. Golden hair strewn across the grass, almost poetically. She was already dead.
All right, this is getting ridiculous.
Leah.
I'm right, aren't I?
She looked along the table. Every mercenary sat here, some disheveled, some with battle wounds. I called this meeting just a few hours after the attack.
Precautions were specifically put in place to keep attacks like this from happening.
Well, they didn't work.
Obviously.
Leah! Kitayan is right. They didn't work. Let's find out why. Somebody, tell me what they found out.
Some guards said a small group of civilians came up the eastern gate and started to make conversation. And after a few minutes, one man destroyed the gate. And then they knocked the eastern guards out and ran into the castle.
Wait, how did they destroy the eastern gate?
It was a magician. He used a spell.
Another one?
Were there other magicians?
The guards in the south wing were under a sleeping spell.
I thought magicians like to stay out of DuPont affairs. When did the rebellion gain so many?
It's unimportant at the moment. Continue. What else happened?
After rebels infiltrated the castle, it was essentially chaos. Guards didn't know where they were coming from or what to do. It took 20 minutes for them to even realize the eastern gate had been blown off. After that, everybody had their attention on the east and the other gates were basically left unguarded.
That's against protocol. Don't these guards know how to stick to their post?
Oh, right. I noticed that too. They were fighting and it's like they didn't know how to strategize at all.
They can't still be suffering from the change in captains, could they?
That's impossible. It's been almost 2 years since I left. The most leeway they're allowed for transitioning is 2 months.
Well, they did just bring out the new recruits last month, fresh out of the academy.
Goddess, I thought they went to the academy to learn how to strategize. They can't just throw out all regard for protocol when shit hits the fan.
I'll talk to Damien about it.
All right. So the gate is destroyed. The guards are in chaos. What are the rebels inside doing?
They were looking for the prince, weren't they?
That doesn't make sense. When I found the prince, he was with Wolfsbane, and he entered through the garden.
Wolfsbane was here.
Yes. Wolfsbane was here. He was with Prince Zane, and when I arrived, he fled the garden. The prince said he did nothing but say the same thing the rebellion has been saying for the past decade.
Oh, right. I almost forgot about this. A guard gave it to me. Told me he found it stuck to an arrow in the garden. I was wondering who WB was because I completely forgot about Wolfbane's existence.
Let me see it. The crown is cursed, forsaken, and deep. But he has promises to keep. Tormented with nightmares, I never sleep. Revenge is a promise a man should keep. He rises from his cursed bed with thoughts of violence in his head. A flash of rage, and I see red. WB.
What?
Are we being threatened with poetry?
Captain, may I see it? I don't know what we're supposed to interpret from this.
He actually wrote that?
Give it to me. The he in question would be referring to the prince. It's about revenge.
But we already knew he wanted to do that.
This is a joke, right? Leah, you wrote this.
You think I know how to write poetry? This is a legitimate rebellion threat. This is who we're fighting.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think we've lost. They've outwitted us with this piece of work.
Whatever this is, we regard it seriously for now. If that's even possible. The attack today was brutal.
They could be trying to throw you off.
With a silly poem?
Oh, Captain. That was a very interesting strategy you used earlier. I didn't know you knew magic.
I'm sorry? I didn't do magic. That shouldn't even be a possibility. Not unless. No, that can't be it.
Well, at the East Gate when that magician was throwing fire everywhere, you wouldn't stop staring at him. It was like you were staring into his soul. And right when he started grabbing at his head, I could swear that your remnant started to glow.
My remnant? I glanced down at the crimson crystal embedded in the collar of my armor. It was a requirement that it was kept on your person at all times. The prince had told me that it was extremely valuable. Losing it would be the worst mistake I could make. Still, I almost forgot that it was there. It must have been coincidental. His Royal Highness never said anything about magic in the crystals.
I did.
What?
When I was forced to stop studying the remnants 4 years ago, when the prince made me give them up to you all, I told you that I didn't know much about them, except for the fact that they held an immeasurable amount of magical energy, and that I didn't know how that could affect the human body. Don't you remember?
I think I recall a conversation like that.
Yeah. But nothing has happened. Like you said, it's been 4 years.
Why do you think we're required to keep the crystals with us at all times?
Uniformity?
Why do you think we're called the Remnant Mercenaries? We're an elite guard, powered by the remnants. You may not remember because you've grown used to it, but hits don't hurt as hard as they should. Kuro, you had a broken nose that healed perfectly in under a month. Not even the best healing elixirs could do that.
So what? Are we magicians or something now?
Like I said, I don't know. I only got so much time to study the crystals, and back then I had all 10. I had a theory that the magic within could be elemental. I had the opportunity to study the white and orange remnants most before you two were recruited. But my own remnant has no qualities of the sort. It's an experimental process I'd be willing to try out, only if you were able to cooperate without making a mess.
It's something we'll have to have a more thorough discussion about at another time. You all need to be on patrol in 10. We need to ensure the castle's security for the next few nights until the gate is repaired. Is there anything else of importance I need to know about? Meeting dismissed.
Sayoko, there's something I need to speak to you about. In private.
Is something the matter?
It's just... I don't know if I'm forgetting something, and I don't want to start a witch hunt for no reason.
What is it?
Do you remember last autumn, after the assassination attempt, when we started hiring new archers?
What are you getting at?
And we didn't tell the head guard or any of the other staff. We told the archers that their positions were strictly confidential. They signed contracts.
Leah?
The archer posted at the eastern gate was hidden far too well to be seen by the unaware. Nobody knew of his existence except for the two of us and the other mercenaries.
Don't say it.
He's dead.
No. No, this can't be happening.
The blood was already dry when I found him. He was dead hours before the attack even started. That's why nobody noticed the eastern
It was
gate.
supposed to be Yuri. He was supposed to be the only one.
The rebellion killed him. And the only way they'd know he was there
Was if they were given information. There's a spy.
I mean, it's a possibility. For all we know, he could have broken his contract and told somebody about his job.
Aurelia, don't speak of this to anyone. Even if you trust them with your entire life, you will keep this to yourself.
Of course, I would never.
Be wary. We can't go around making accusations until there's evidence.
And if there is?
We find the spy, and we dispose of them.
Hey there, it's me again. I've come to do my little intro greeting and goodbye. We've got a shorter episode, but thank you so much for listening to episode 12 of He Who Forsakes the Crown. We did it, guys. It's May 4th, and we came out on time. I'm so proud of us. I want to give a special thank you to our two new editors, Billy and Danny. You've probably heard their names in the credits if you listen to the credits, but they've been helping, and things have just gotten a whole less stressful than they usually are. I don't really want to keep you for too long. Frankly, I feel really sick and I have a lot going on. So, just going to say the same things I always say. If you haven't already, please follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. That's Chapter 15 Studios. 15 is always the number. Twitter, that's CH15 Studios, because chapter didn't fit within the character limit. You can always check out our website, www.chapter15studios.com. And just look how far we've come, guys. That's 12 episodes. That's a year worth of content, but it's not our anniversary. That's next month. I just want to thank you guys for being here with us on the ride. I hope you're enjoying the show, and I'll let you guys get back to it. So, thank you.
It was colder than I was comfortable with. The sky was a deep navy, stars strewn across it like freckles. The day felt so long. I had said goodbye to Zane when the castle was finally secure. Zane is so kind for trying to cheer me up. He's so considerate to me for absolutely no reason. He's one of the only people I have here. No, I have to stop thinking like that. Regardless of whether I find my brother or not, I'm going to adjust. I'm a grown woman. I'm capable of making a life for myself. I have my own room. I have a job. I'm safe. Mother wanted me to be happy, and I'll find a way, even if it feels impossible at the moment. I took a long, tapered candle and placed it onto the windowsill, striking a flame and lighting it. The warm light was comforting in a sense. Goddess Enyo, I beg of thee, may my parents have found their way safely to each other. May they follow each other into their next lives again and again. They deserve it the most. Faye and Ethan Duvon, bound by eternal love, together in life and death. May they find peace wherever they go. The ground floor of the castle was in ruins. Bushes and shrubs burnt to a crisp, ash littered on the ground, bodies staged gracefully in their defeat, and weapons piercing the soil, staying in the upright position. It's terrifying. I'm horrified. The garden is no longer green. It's stained with the blood of many men and women. Why would anyone do this? I've never witnessed much violence in my lifetime. My father used to be the head guard of our village. He wanted to teach me self-defense. He never wanted me to be helpless. It was never very necessary, of course. I lived a sheltered life. Death wasn't an imminent presence. For the very least, a violent death. Oh, Enyo, please forgive me in your time of war. I shan't ever want to beseech thee. Please guide me with your promise and wisdom to live a safer life. I beg for your protection, for strength isn't my strong suit. Protect me, but I pray that you'll protect His Royal Highness more. I just lost my family. I can't lose him too. Grief has stricken my heart, but now isn't the time for worry. I pray that Argus Divine has seen their souls to safety. Time is meek, and for now I pray, upon your sheath and upon your sword. Swear you'll stay, and I'll stay. For life is short when death must approach. Please, take the pain away. If he was a second too late, he would have been gone. It's amazing to see how fast he was able to handle that. Goddess, the fear in his voice when he told me to run. He protected me. I abandoned him and he sacrificed himself for me. I always run, don't I? Enyo Divine, why do I feel this way? My heart beats like I'm running out of time. Why?
Strange. Peculiar. An oddity, if you will. What impeccable timing. That's all it is, isn't it? To catch me so off guard so quickly, to take advantage of me as an opponent. I saw the look in his eyes. He wanted to shame me. He had the strike, if only he was fast enough.
The boy is quick, but I'm quicker. It's quite fruitless. Antagonizing. I'm more than the bringer of death. There's more to who I am than some baseless religion. Love and war can't coexist. It's either one or the other. In this world wrought for destruction, mankind is truly disturbing. Thousands of years of death and bloodshed. They never learn, and they never will. Human existence feeds off insecurity. They feel courage when they're together, yet doubt themselves when they're all alone. To feed off each simple emotion they release out of their body. It's carnage within a feast of cannibals. It's all quite strange. Odd.
I shouldn't be worried about her, but I am. Despite everything that has happened, I'm not worried about myself. I could see the gleam in her eyes, concerned for me. The gentle, warm caress of her hand on my cheek, how she wrapped her arms around me as she engulfed me in a hug. Today, I could have died. I could have taken my final breath defending Rillian. Who am I kidding? I'm not a guard. I know only enough to defend myself. I thought that my arrogance could scare him off, but to no avail. I need to protect her. No. I must protect her. I'm a fool if I believe that I can hold my own.
Then you're a fool.
Enlighten me.
You didn't die. He retreated, and you won.
I wasn't the one fighting.
Yes, you were.
You weren't controlling me?
No, I wasn't.
Then what was that?
My power courses through your veins. It's up to you when you decide to tap into them. You'll know when I'm controlling you. Don't you remember?
I do, but how do I tap into your power?
That's for you to figure out. This is my first time getting trapped within a mortal body.
Argus took control of my arm, lifting it up and moving my fingers in a methodical pattern.
It's quite refreshing to feel young. There's so much untapped potential that lies within this body.
Untapped potential? What are you talking about?
There's so much more than this body is capable of than meager work.
What in Minervia's name are you talking about?
You, sir, could be a strong war asset.
I shouldn't take a physical part in wars.
I was there when that traitor was imprisoned. Didn't it feel good to hit him? Didn't it feel good to see him writhe in agony? Wasn't his execution satisfying?
I can't answer that.
Sure you can. I know what you felt. I feel what you felt. Look at yourself. You're tall, slightly muscular, physically balanced. You're quite a piece of work. I can see you conquering a battlefield, stained in red.
I can't. That's not where I belong.
That's what your father says. And you're not your father. Are you?
You're right. I'm not him.
Kings are front and center when it comes to battle. A good king knows how to fight and destroy other armies, don't they? There's no need.
How did you...
I'm still within your soul.
My divine.
Stop that. I don't want special treatment from you.
Then what do you want?
I want you to become king.
He Who Forsakes the Crown is an audio drama written and produced by Chapter 15 Studios. Audio editing done by Billy Mizell, Danny J.M., and Giselle Fausto. He Who Forsakes the Crown is starring Eric Smith as Zane Namonte, Julia Orsborn as Rillianne Duvon, and Chada Lynn as Sayoko Kina. Featuring Zoe Absher as Catalina, Sabrina May as Riley, Levi Coulter as Aurelia, Veronique Rose as Kitayan, Rodrigo Tamayo as Kuro, Nick Richardson as Jacob, Shoki Sama as Saren, Andrew Bonilla as Kisame, and Ranger H. Fox as Argus. We thank you for listening to this episode of He Who Forsakes the Crown. You'll see us again on June 4th.